will work. Looking for both of those filters. Stan is looking for an original black ARC-V receiver, the R27, 6 to 9 megacycle range. Doesn't want a silver one, and he doesn't want one that's chopped up. He wants an unmodified one. Do not blame you. Very nice giveaway here. Wonderful little Collins-made low to medium power AM receiver and transmitter, the military TCS from World War II. It's also got a TBW transmitter and a box of ART-13 parts. These are all free. He also has a box of miscellaneous coils and capacitors for transmitters, but he doesn't want to be peppered with questions about those parts. Come and pick up the TCS and the TBW, and you can take a gander at the parts that he's offering for free also. Stan's a good, reach him on his QRZ email address, because phone doesn't work where Stan lives. The W6VW at his QRZ email address. Any breaks on that listing?
Thanks, Larry.
Sure thing.
Hi, Larry.
Hiya.
CA6ZE is saying hello.
Good. I heard you earlier, Pete.
How's it going with you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. You know, I'm an old man just stumbling through life.
Well, you're still stumbling pretty good for an old guy.
Well, you know, I'm pretty good shape for the shape I'm in. There's a lot of people that are not doing nearly as well as I am, so I can't complain.
Oh, that's for sure. I hate to meet you in a dark alley.
Yeah. Okay, AA6ZE, Pete, Santa Rosa. Good to hear you. Do you want to list today?
No, nothing needed right now. Have a good one, Larry.
Okay, see you soon. Who'd like to make listing number 2 today?
Kilowatt Gold 6, Victor, Kilowatt Charlie, update.
Do you want to update yesterday's listing, Steve?
Roger, 7,300 sold, KG6 VHC.
It's kind of weak copy. Did you sell your 7,300?
Sure, sell, Roger.
Okay, it is scratched. KG6 VKC Stephen Campbell sold his ICOM 7300. That's the way to do it, guys. If you sell something on the net or you buy something off the net, let us know so we can scratch it off. Thank you, Steve.
Roger. Have a nice day.
7-3. West Coast SwapNet looking for listing number 2.
Whiskey Alpha 6, November Echo Alpha.
Whiskey Alpha 6, November Echo Alpha, NEA. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, this is WA6NEA Bob in Roseville. I have for sale a Tenadyne T28 LPDA. It's good for 50 megs to 1300 megs. Has 6.3 dBd gain on a 12-foot boom with 28 elements. They list new right now for $780, and I'm taking 200 or best offer.
Is this a log periodic?
QSL.
And what's the price, 200?
200 or best offer.
Give me the model number because I didn't capture that.
Not a problem. It's T as in Tango, altogether 28, T28. It's a Tenadyne, the same outfit, Tenadyne and Cubex, the same company.
Okay. Is it Teledyne like the microphone?
Negative. Tenadyne, that's Tango, Echo, November, Alpha, Delta, Yankee, November, Echo.
Okay, and that's the same as what, high gain?
Cubex, the quad people, Charlie, Uniform, Bravo, Echo, X-Ray.
Okay, yeah, I know Cubex. Okay, good enough. I did not know the name Tenadyne, but now I do. Number 2, WA6NEA, Bob in Roseville. Well, Bob, is this antenna on the ground ready to go?
Yes, it is, and it's all put together. It could be carried on a lumber rack on a truck rather easily.
Okie doke. WA6NEA, that's a highfalutin communications lingo. Okie doke. Bob in Roseville out by Sacramento has got a Tenadyne 28-element log periodic antenna. Covers 50 megahertz through 1.3 gigahertz, 6.3 dBg gain. So that's an interesting wideband antenna. $200 or best offer. He says it's on the ground and it'll easily go on a lumber rack on your pickup. How about a phone number, Bob? We didn't get that.
My bad there. It's 916-709-5333.
Okay, Bob's phone number is 916-709-5333. Any breaks for Bob? How long's the boom on that thing?
12 foot.
Boy, that's a quart in the pint pot for only 12 foot long.
Yeah, but it's built like a brick outhouse. It weighs 38 pounds.
Wow, that sounds like a commercial antenna.
Yes, it is.
All right, so there's a commercial grade log periodic thing, weighs 38 pounds, so it's only 12 feet long. 50 megahertz through 1.3 gigahertz. That's a tempting antenna to have.
Yeah, it'd give you everything. Better than I forget those omnidirectional ones that cover those freaks, but at least you got some gain.
Yeah, those I know I can't say the name of that cotton picking thing, discone antennas. Yeah, they have negative gain over a dipole.
Exactly, that's the word I was looking for.
Well, I transmitted through one of those over at the missile site in Arizona. They got a giant discone antenna there that the Air Force built, and the local ham radio club has got a little box with a coax there, and you can sidle up to it and hook your rig up to it and use it. So I did.
Oh, that's awesome. You're the second person I've heard that's done that. Sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I was dragging my FT817 around with me. I think that's what I had. And so we just did it.
Oh, that's cool. The other person I know that did that was WB6UBK over in Fair Oaks.
Well, my in-laws live right down the road from there in Green Valley, so we ran up the road 10 miles on that, and took the tour of the place, which is really something, and did that. They have a little museum there, and in the museum they've got a couple of the keys, and to send the missile off, two different guys had to put keys in and turn them at the same time, and the key was exactly the same key blank as the ignition key for my 1947 Blanca airplane, which really cracked me up.
Oh, I bet. It sounds like that would be good to see. I haven't been there personally, but I'm an old Hawk missile jock from the Army there, so I understand what you're talking about there.
Yeah, it's quite a thing to go down into that the giant hole in the ground with the big blast doors and all that stuff. It's too much.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, there's one of those old Nike Hercules sites in Lincoln that somebody's converted into a residence. But anyway, probably better let you get back to the swap net there.
All right. WA6NEA, W6WUH break. Believe it or not, this is the West Coast Swap Net. We're looking for listing number 3 today. Underwhelming response. Who'd like to make a listing? Well, Steve sold his IC7300 yesterday, so there's some progress. We'll do radios that glow in the dark at 1 o'clock, so get out your little notepad and make a list of all your tube-type radios that need a new home, and we'll list them.
Here, Larry. Listing number 3.
Number 3, go ahead.
Yeah, K6LK.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, how's it going, Larry? Hey, I want to list an item here and a want. I'm looking for an 8 to 10 foot tower. That's a want. I'll do the radios that glow in the dark, or I can tell you right now, they're 3 parts for a radio that glows in the dark, a Swan 240. And the parts are free, and call for details, of course, shipping. I have one for sale item. Gosh, am I going too fast for you, Larry?
Not at all.
Okay. The for sale item is a Yaesu Fox Tango 847. Comes with a mic and the power cord. It's a transceiver. Covers HF, VHF, and UHF. It was made some years back, and it's got the Cat 4 access. It's okay on that. And I'd like $585 for that. And that is a full duplex satellite radio. But if you don't have to operate it on for satellite, you can do 2 meters, 440, or HF. 585, I can be reached area code 707-277-0536, K6LK.
It's actually a nice radio. Number 3, K6LK, Bill in Kelseyville. Got a want for an 8 to 10 foot tower. Do you want to be more specific about that tower? Are you looking for like a hunk of Roan 25, or are you looking for a 3-legged tripod? What are you looking for?
Well, Larry, they made like Create Designs, and some of these other companies came out with some short roof type towers. What I want to do is mount it on the ground, and maybe or a deck of a home, and go ahead and just put the satellite antennas on that.
Alrighty. K6LK, Bill in Kelseyville wants an 8 to 10 foot tower like Create Systems, something similar. Got a box of Swan 240 parts. Like to sell a Yaesu Fox Tango 847. This is a DC to daylight all-mode rig, HF plus VHF UHF, Cat 4 computer control, full duplex satellite capable, $585. 707-277-0536. Any breaks for Bill? Okey-doke, West Coast SwapNet looking for listing number 4. So we come up on one of the 10-minute marks. I guess I'll say my call sign, W6WUH. Looking for listing number 4 on the West Coast SwapNet. Who would like to make a listing?
Whiskey Ocean 7 Zulu.
Very weak 7 Zulu.
I know it's pretty weak, isn't it? Whiskey Ocean 7 Zulu. Name's Tom up here in Oregon.
You're not even S1. I think it's WA7 Zulu. Is that correct?
Negative. Whiskey Oscar 7 Zulu.
Whiskey Oscar 7 Zulu. Okay, very slowly, name and QTH.
Thank you very much. The name here is Tom, Tango Oscar Mike, and the QTH is Almsville, Oregon. Almsville, Oregon.
Okay, go ahead, Tom.
I have one listing today. It's an amplifier. It's a Meritron AL80 Bravo. AL80 Bravo amplifier. Very excellent condition. Works fine. It's wired for 110. I have 3, and I don't need that many. And so this one comes with a spare tube, so it's not needed. I'm asking $1,600 for that. I will not ship. It will probably have to be local. Over.
Okay, 1,600, is that correct?
Roger.
Okay, phone number?
503-749-2041.
Okay, missing one figure, something blank 041.
503-749-2041. Roger.
2041, QSL?
Roger.
Okay, we got it. Thank you for giving it to me slowly like that. WO7, is it uniform or Zulu? I wrote uniform, but I think you're Zulu.
It's Zulu.
Yeah, I don't know why I wrote that. WO7Z, Tom in Almsville, Oregon. Got an Meritron AL80 Bravo, excellent condition. Currently wired 420 volts. Got a spare final that comes with it. $1,600. Pick it up in Almsville, Oregon. He does not want to ship it. 503-749-2041. Any breaks for Tom? All right, moving right along. Who'd like to make listing number 5 today?
If you don't have a listing at the moment, I'd like a follow-up. N6 Quebec Whiskey Papa.
QWP, what you got, Brad?
Yeah, thank you. Yesterday, I put an inquiry out for wanting to know who made or where there was a source that I could find some of those perforated cabinets with the top lift door that resembled the Collins S line. Somebody said that they knew and they would give me a buzz, but I never did get a call. And I didn't write down who it was that had that. Anyway, I am still looking to figure a source out to find one or two of those if that gentleman or anyone else happens to know. N6QWP, thanks.
I think that was Clarence, N6DUK. You want his phone number?
Yeah, let me write that down.
Are you ready?
Go.
530-200-3659.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Brad's still trying to figure out the name of the company that made the perforated lift top cabinets that were similar to the S-line cabinets.
K6HXF, would that have been Bud?
I don't know if it was. I'd have to go look at an old WRL catalog from the late 50s, early 60s and see if I can find something in there. I don't know who it was.
Because I had one here that looked very similar to a Collins And it was made by Bud. I'd give it to a guy. He was working on something. But anyways, that's what I've seen here. This is KE6HXF. We're clear.
Okay, did you hear that, Brad?
No, negative. He's down in my mud.
Okay, a gentleman said that he had a cabinet like that, very similar to the Collins, and it was made by Bud, B-U-D.
Okay, that's one lead. I think I remember a different name, but I will pursue that with Clarence, or if there's any other suggestions. Thank you. N6QWP.
Okay, well, finding in the catalog is one thing, and finding one in the flesh is another.
Yeah, can I just, it's not quite one yet. It's damn close, though. Can I put that on as a want for radios that glow in the dark?
Yeah, I've already written it down, and I'll read it back.
All right, great. Thanks, Larry.
Okie doke. West Coast SwapNet looking for listing number 5. Kilo Zulu 6 Quebec, is that correct?
That's correct.
What can I do for you?
2 listings. I'd like to put on the spot.
Okay, I got your call sign. Give me your name and your QTH.
The QTH is Hayward, California, and the name is Edward Hughes.
Okay, Ed, go ahead with your listings. Make and model number first, brief description, and the price.
Number is 510-432-9748. The first item is the Yaesu ST990 $450. The second item is the Kenwood TS480 SAT, $475. Did you get that?
I sure did, Ed. You got anything else?
Not right now, thank you.
Okay, the phone number comes last on this net. I did not write it down, so give me your phone number now, please.
The telephone number is area code 510-432-9748, and I will ship these, but the buyer has to pay for the shipping.
Okay, you got the interconnecting cable for the TS480?
I think so, yes.
Okie dokie. Very good. Number 5, KZ6 Quebec. Ed in Hayward offers a Yaesu Fox Tango 990 transceiver for $450. And a Kenwood TS480 SAT transceiver for $475. He'll ship. The buyer always pays shipping unless you guys work something differently. And so that's kind of a foregone conclusion. Area code 510-432-9748. Any breaks for Ed? Or if you ever wanted to set up a radio remotely, that TS480 is just custom made for it. I had the high power one here. It was a rather nice radio. I'm kind of sorry I didn't keep it. West Coast SwapNet, who'd like to make listing number 6? I'm not a Kenwood guy, but I think that 480 was one of their better efforts. Okay, 1 o'clock. Radios that glow in the dark. If you have boat anchors that you'd like to list, we'll take them in unlimited quantities as long as you keep your listing well organized and concise. Try to find homes for these radios so they don't go to the dump. And we'll take ordinary listings as well. You can even mix them up. Who'd like to make listing number 6? I think I'll go ahead and list some of my collection as long as people are not chomping at the bit. W6WUH, that's me, Larry, in Occidental, Northern California. I've got a Clegg Interceptor Bravo receiver with the HF up converter so that it covers 80 meters through 2 meters. Very high dynamic range receiver, about 125 dB or better. Collins filter in it. One of the last and the best of the tube type receivers. And I'd like to get $450 for that. Trade or make me an offer. Got the matching Clegg Zeus transmitter, the high power AM and CW transmitter for 6 and 2 meters. With the modulator power supply, it's been gone through $300 for that. We very easily made to work on sideband with a linear amplifier. I've got the Morrow AM-CW twins, quart and a pint pot, 12-tube high stability receiver in a package that's about 3.5 inches wide, high and 10 inches wide and 5 inches deep, and the transmitter is the same size. Got the deluxe AC supply to go with it, overhauled condition, $400 for those with all the cables. Also got the DC supply and cables for a little bit more if you want those. Got another set of Morrow twins, no cables, no overhaul, no power supply, $100 a piece, their best offer for those. Got an SB102 transceiver, overhauled condition. Made a long cable for it so that I could mount the power supply in a convenient place. So it's got the HP23 supply and original mic and manual, and no mic, original manual. $375 for that. Got a Heathkit audio analyzer, distortion analyzer. It's working. Like to get $75 for that with a manual. What else? Got a 250 watt multi-match modulation transformer by Thor Darson. It's got ceramic banana plug jacks right on the front of the transformer, so it's very easy to change taps on it. It's not confusing in any way, and I'd like to get to $200 for that. Consider trading any or all of this stuff toward a very modern high-end 2 meter or 2 meter 440 all-mode transceiver, or a 10-tech Orion 2. Call me and see what you got that I want. 707-874-1000 after the net, if you would. Okay, any breaks on that? Moving right along, West Coast SwapNet looking for listing number 7. Radios that glow in the dark or otherwise. an SB220 on the bench. I'm putting all the hard box stuff in and going through, and when I get that done, I'm going to have to decide whether I'm going to keep it and let the Ten-Tec go to somebody who needs more power and QSK and all the things this Ten-Tec amplifier is capable of, or whether I'll keep it. West Coast SWAPnet, who'd like to make listing number 7? Did the band just fold up and go away?
I don't think so. Just sleepy people.
Okie doke, S9 here.
KG.
I can hear you in Sacramento, KA6RCZ.
RCZ, thank you. U10 over.
Good copy, Ukiah, KD6DQO.
Ukiah, good. We don't hear Ukiah too often here.
We just listen a lot.
Well, sometimes that's a good way to be. All right, thank you, guys. I'm glad to know I'm not here talking to myself. Who'd like to make listing number 7? Good close in Northern California propagation today. Very strong signals.
Your Q5 in San Diego, KK6SWM.
SWM, thank you. You're S7 here. I'm hitting the amplifier a little harder on it. Two more watts of drive. But the thing's got an amplification factor of about 40, so it does something. Who'd like to make a listing today? Radios that glow in the dark. I never hear anybody list any old VHF gear anymore, and an awful lot of VHF gear was made tube type stuff and early transistor stuff, and nobody bothers to list it.
On that note, would you like to hear a quick story about that?
Sure, go ahead.
Just for fun and giggles, I was on eBay, where everything is usually well overpriced, and there was a 700A Kenwood All-Mode 2-meter radio, and it's very old, and it's kind of deaf, and it's only 10 watts, but it was really well built, and it looks cool. So I put a bid in of $40, and I won it.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, but they're not worth it. And this one, get this one had a PL. It had a ComSpec PL, and it had modified for the repeater splits, and it was the original owner, and it came with the manual. So you've got radios now, those old radios, especially the ones without PL, that are worth less than what it costs to ship.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it is, but you know, you put a good low noise front end ahead of that thing, and it'll start to hear things. And you know, I don't know any. Is that an analog radio or is that an early digital radio?
No, it's a completely analog all-mode base radio. They came out with a digital readout version of it, kind of like the 520 with the DG5. That was pretty much exactly the same radio, but with a digital readout, and it was half as reliable.
Oh boy! Well, some of those great old analog radios, you know, they don't make any synthesizer phase noise or any of that other junk. So there's something to be said for them.
Oh, look, you're talking to someone that has a complete set of Kenwood hybrid HFs, 520, 530, 820, 830, because I just love the darn things.
Well, I kind of feel the same way about the Aces. I just haven't owned Kenwood, so I'd probably feel that way about them.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I've had terrible luck with the issue. All right, let the thing flow. W6PMR Lincoln. And by the way, on my completely unreliably read S meter on the 830 here, you're almost pinning it. But it is completely out of whack as far as that goes. But it will make you feel good to know that you're almost pinning a meter somewhere.
Well, I hope so.
There you go.
Good to hear you. W6PMR, W6WUH. Well, there you go. I'm one of these days I'm going to get from Clarence up in Corning the old FD620 Bravo, which is an analog transistor 6-meter Olmo that Yaesu made, which is just really kind of a wonderful radio. It's got a pre-selector with ferrite cores that move up and down in coils on an armature like a Collins receiver. It's really a nifty thing. And I worked some of my best TX on 6 meters with one of those things. A guy was out in Kwajalein Island, which is another 1,000, 1,500 miles farther west than Hawaii, sitting out there on that atoll with a 10-watt sideband rig and a ground plane antenna, and I had the same setup here, and we're having a nice little QSO.
Sounds like a fishtail to me, K06BB.
Well, no, it's true.
Oh, I know. I'm just kidding you.
There's more meat on the head than the tail. Anyway, West Coast Swap Net, we're looking for listing number 7. Tall tails included.
KH7Y.
Again?
Kilo Hotel 7 Yankee.
KH7Y, go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon all. This is Fred in Pine Grove. If you'd like to have an old Gunson communicator, I've got a couple of those. Anyhow, just pulling your leg. I've got the first item, 2 10-foot tower sections. They're similar to Roam 45. They're not Roam 45. They're about an inch larger on per side. They're free to pick up here. It also has a top plate that goes with it. That's the first item.
Okay.
Second item is a Howland Sugar Papa SP 400X. It's a very, very nice receiver. It's heavy. With power supply, and it's free to pick up. It works.
Is it free?
It is free. If somebody shows up, they can take it with them along with the tower.
Yeah, that's the predecessor of the SP600, huh?
Yep, it's pretty nice. It does work. The third item is a Harvey Wells power supply. It'll work with the Bandmaster or the T90. It's been rebuilt. It's in nice shape, and that's $50. And I have that I do have a communicator. If somebody shows up, I'll give them a 2-meter communicator for parts there. This is Fred at 209-418-4095.
Okay, very nice. Well, the interesting thing about those communicators is that they're modular. So they've got a modular power supply and a modulator and a receiver and transmitter, all separate little units in there. So they're easy to service, and if you do have one that you don't want to rebuild, those things are useful for other things. Number 7, KH7Y, Fred in Pine Grove, up in the Sierras. Got the two 10-foot tower sections and one top plate. It's similar to Roan 45, but it's about an inch wider per side, so nice heavy-duty tower sections. Those are free if you pick them up in Pine Grove. Got the Hammerland SP400X general coverage receiver. That's the earlier Super Pro predecessor to the SP600. That one's free if you pick it up in Pine Grove. He's got a Harvey Wells transmitter power supply that has been rebuilt, $50. And boy, if you've got any of the old AMCW mobile transmitters, AF67, Harvey Wells, Morrow, Gonset, Viking Mobile, they all want between 450 or 300 and 600 volts, but not more than 600 volts DC. And a power supply like this is just what you need to work one of those, so it's a very good thing to have. He's also got a 2-meter communicator, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, or 4, that he'll give you for parts if you show up there at Pine Grove. 209-418-4095. Any breaks for Fred?
Yeah, and thanks. And also, I had a 620B for many years. Got my DXCC on 6 meters with it. Great radio, as long as you had a big amp after it.
Well, yeah, antenna's the name of the game. That's a great story. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any breaks for Fred? West Coast Swap. Matt, who'd like to make a listing number 8?
Relay.
Relay. Go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, KB6LZW relaying for Whiskey Alpha 6, Norway Echo America. That's Bob in Roseville. And Bob has a Tenadyne model T28, Tango 28. It's a log periodic, 28 elements. That thing covers 50 megahertz up to 1.3 gigahertz. It has a 12-foot boom. And he said it's in great condition. He'd like $200 for it. And you can get a hold of Bob at 916-709-5333. Over.
Thank you, Dennis. Bob was actually able to get in today as number 2, so we did take the listing, but give him another plug.
Yeah. He didn't say how many watts the thing takes, but 28 elements he got.
Well, he says it's a commercial construction antenna. It weighs 38 pounds, so it's a beast. I imagine it'll probably take anything you can throw at it if the SWR is right.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you'd have any problem with SWR anywhere. It'd find a resonant spot, maybe a little tuner to brush it up. And for Fred's information out there, I was working a couple of days ago, 6-meter guy, and he had an 11-element antenna. I think it was 11 elements. Good Lord.
Yeah, long boom antenna.
Yeah, and then he probably needed a 3-element on top for a spotter, because that thing would be like a laser. Okay, KB6LZW, good afternoon.
Yeah, it might be one of the M-squared JKV Aggies that are, I think they're that big, I think.
It was an M-squared.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That's an interesting antenna. JKV is a big 6-meter guy here in Sonoma County, and designed a giant moon bounce array. He must have spent $10,000 or $15,000 building this thing, and it never did really work just right with his design. And so he went to M-squared, and he redesigned that antenna, and made it work, and so that antenna now it bears the JKV model number.
Well, I know it's well over $2,000 because what he described to me, I looked it up on M-Squared. I didn't know they came that big. They said call for price.
Yeah.
Okay, KB6L ZW, mildewing.
Well, you know what, Cornelius Vanderbilt was a real rich guy in the turn of the century, 1900. And he had the America Cup yacht, and somebody asked him what it cost. And he turned to the guy and said, "If you have to ask, you can't afford it."
Yep.
So there you go. Good to hear you, Dennis. West Coast SWATnet, we got about 25 minutes to go. We're looking for listing number 8.
W6 SSP.
W6 Fox Sierra Papa, go ahead.
It's Whiskey 6 Sierra Sierra Papa. Larry, I think I'm hitting it too hard. You copying okay?
Yeah, you're S9. I should know that. SSP, go ahead.
Okay. And in the vein of glow-in-the-dark stuff, I'm looking for a dynamotor and cable for an ART-13 transmitter. That goes back a few years. And the dynamotors are either a DY17 and I think a DY12 will work as well. I'm not positive about that. But I'm looking for the dynamotor and cables for the ART-13. And one item for sale, I've got an ICOM IC211, which is a 2-meter all-mode rig. It has the FM board installed. It's a project. Used it for many, many years. One day turned it on, it didn't work anymore. So it's a project. $75 for that. Pickup only in Santa Rosa. Forgot to mention that. I'm in Santa Rosa. Phone number 707-544-8142, or I'm good on QRZ.
Okay, I think that's Steve in Santa Rosa. W6SSP. Got a want for ART-13 dynamotor and cable. Dynamotor nomenclature might be Delta Yankee 17 or Delta Yankee 12. That's a want. He's got an ICOM 211 2-meter all-mode with the FM module installed. It's a project. It just up and died on him after many years of use. $75. 707-544-8142, and the 211's pickup in Santa Rosa.
Thank you, Larry.
Oh, my pleasure. How you doing?
Okay, taking it easy.
Well, that's the way to be. By the way, we're doing radios that glow in the dark, so if you want to do a long list of boat anchor stuff, you certainly can do it.
You know, I really should. The wife says I should. Everybody says I should, but I'm not going to. I'm still getting a kick out of them.
Well, you know, you don't have to feed them, so as long as you don't need to get those other automotive projects out of the back of the garage, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know, I'm not ready to give those up either. I enjoy my toys. I think a lot of us are like that. W6SSP.
Yeah, I get a lot of pleasure out of looking at this stuff. What can you do? Okay, West Coast SWATnet, who's looking for listing number 9?
Your wife says, tell him your heart says no.
You know, I'm getting to the point where if I find a good home for something, I'm happy about it. I sold somebody a Night Kit signal tracer. It was in very nice shape, and it had a broken function switch, and I spent a lot lot of time repairing it. It worked perfectly. And the guy took it and he just threw it face down in a metal cart and dumped a bunch of other stuff on top of it. And I wished I'd never sold it to him.
Oh, I know that feeling. I sold this lady a really old Peugeot, and it was like 30 or 40 years old. And first thing she did is broke the turn signal handle.
How could she do that?
Pulled on it too damn hard.
What kind of Peugeot was it?
I think it was a 405, maybe.
Yeah, I know the 404s and the 405s. I don't know the 505s. I don't know the 405. Is that the front wheel drive one?
No, I don't think that. Well, the 405 was a rear wheel drive. It had a really comfortable interior. I remember that. That was the 405. The 404 was the earlier model, I guess.
Yeah, the 404 is a great car. I had several of those.
But the 405 interior was really, really comfortable. I remember picking up a Japanese ham I talked to on 10 meters to come visit me. We talked on 10 meters. He came and stayed with me. I picked him up in the Peugeot.
He probably thought it was the nicest car he ever saw.
Yeah, he was going to rent a car. He says, I don't drive very well. You drive.
Well, I drive on the wrong side in Japan, too, so probably a good move.
Absolutely.
Okie doke, West Coast SwapNet. Who'd like to make listing number 9? Buy, sell, trade in the ever-popular giveaway. One of the radios I've never had my hands on is a Gonset Sidewinder.
Never even heard of it.
There's an early solid-state 6 or 2 meter sideband rig that Gonset made. It's really their first all-transistor radio.
I got kind of a offbeat kind of question. If something were to happen to me, is there like a club or something my son could get a hold of to sell all my gear, or how would that work? I know it's a weird question, but I just was wondering. N6OVP.
Well, you're in Marin, aren't you?
Yeah, Corte Madera.
Marin Amateur Radio Club is a big ham club that is about 100 years old, and somebody there would probably be able to help you.
All right, great. Yeah, I've been there. I took my test. Isn't it up at the old Air Force Base, too?
I think they were. I'm not sure where they are now. If you contact KB6HOH in Novato, I think he could put you in the right direction.
Oh, yeah, Steve. I've talked to him plenty of times, actually yesterday. Thanks, man. I appreciate your help, N6OVP.
Yeah, well, the first thing to do is just get a notebook and catalog everything and write down a range of prices on it, from flea market price to retail, and so that somebody has got a list of the stuff and knows what it is. And that way, if you have to donate it, at least you know what kind of price to put on it. And there's a number of things to do. Some people will sell their whole estate before they die to one of the commercial resellers, like that guy up in Reno, and he'll come in with a truck and give you about half of flea market price, but he'll take everything.
Oh, yeah. Do you know his call sign?
No, I don't know about a call sign. It's a commercial outfit. Walter, are you on board? You know what they're called.
Hey, Larry, that's Hammond Hi-Fi in Sparks, Nevada. WC6D.
Oh, thank you, Art. Yeah, Hammond Hi-Fi. They'll lowball you on a wholesale price, but they'll buy everything outright. So that's one way to go. Another way to go is to get some hams to have an estate sale and give the money to your widow, and they usually end up taking some money for the expenses involved, but that's not a bad way to go. I've seen people have a state sale right in their house, and have an estate agent come and it just kind of depends on what your situation is.
Info,
go ahead.
Yeah, another way to go, Larry, is just put a friendly ham price on it, and it'll move. K6LK.
Yeah, I think that probably is the best thing to do is sell the stuff before you croak.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. You can't use it in the great beyond.
No, you can't. Well, I've been thinking about putting a solar-powered QRP transmitter in my headstone. I just haven't figured out what the message is going to be yet.
Yeah, you got to pick a good frequency, too. You don't want to resonate with the undead.
Oh, no, you wouldn't want to do that.
Thank you guys very much, N6OVB.
I think the undead, they come through here now and then.
I've had a few encounters myself.
On that cheerful note, we're still looking for listing number 9.
Hey, Larry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, W6VW. You remember the old AM VHF days on 2 meters? It wasn't so much anything else. It was 2 meters. AM, it was great. I had a 16-element collinear on the roof on ARC3, driven by an ARC5 transmitter as a VFO, and the ARC3 receiver. And I worked all up and down the coast of California. It was great fun.
Oh, I sure do remember those days. FCR 522s and Heathkit tours and communicators. And I thought I was finally in heaven when I got a converted taxi cab radio that with a 2E26 on the final and two frequencies. The WB6AAE repeater, when that was the first FM repeater in the Bay Area, and Simplex. And that was hot.
I built W6TFZ, John Hekemovich. I don't know if you knew him. Great guy. He was the lab teacher up there at CSM. Wonderful person. But it was a 2-meter mobile. It was a beautiful set. It was crystal control, but the receiver had a knob on it, one of those national 3-inch knobs. I built that, and it worked beautifully. But I had to build 3 of them to get one that worked. And I remember a few of them flying across the garage floor because the IF strip was oscillating.
Oh, boy. Yeah, there was a break in there.
Yeah, Larry, I want to contact Stan.
Give him a call.
W6VW, K6LK. Do you hear me, Stan?
Hey, Billy, you're nice and loud today, W6VW.
Hey, can you go up to 75, Stan, if it's clear, or first frequency down?
What's that, 72, 75?
QSL.
Okay, see you up there.
Thanks, Ned.
All right.
It's Larry, I know that.
Yeah, we can talk about the 6 and 2 meter AM for a long time here, I think.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, I swear to God. I would get on 2 meters now if that was the same, but it's all repeaters and all that crap. They screwed up everything. I'm Key West Y.
Yeah, they really screwed up. They chewed up about 90% of the band, populating it with repeaters that are unused. And then if you try to go and use those frequencies for Simplex, somebody will chew on you. It's really stupid to decide that 3.5 of a 4 megacycle wide band will be dedicated to one mode of operation, FM. That's crazy. Anyway, West Coast SwapNet, my call W6WUH. 25 minutes to go. Who'd like to make listing number 9?
KF6, KFB.
Do you remember the old ARC4? TF6 is it Sierra Bravo? Kilo X-ray Golf. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Mike in Glendale, California. I have a helicopter collection in one Hammerland that I'm trying to fill at this point. I will be at the Claremont Swap Meet next early with them, and fire sale prices. Real good prices. Most of them come with manuals. Most have been recapped. So if anybody is interested in anything, please give me a call, 818-618-4226 ahead of time, and I'll tell you what's in the collection that's going.
Okay, very good. Well, maybe you can pre-sell some of it and just deliver it there. Number 9, Kilo Foxtrot 6, Kilo X-ray Golf. Mike in Glendale says he has a collection of Hammerland radios and a collection of Hallicrafters radios that are restored, overhauled, working, and nice, and he's going to take them to the Claremont Swap next Saturday. So if you'd like to call him now and get in on the deal before they get sucked up at the swap meet, call him at 818-618-4226. And Mike says people's prices prevail here, so if you want to add to your collection, round it out, or acquire that whole collection, now's your chance. Info, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Mike. I have one Hammerland. It's an HT-129. All the rest is Hallicrafter. I also have the pan adapter, the ST-44, and an ARC-46 speaker going there, too. So, yeah, please call me. And like I say, most of them have manuals with them. In the case of the SX-28A and the SX-42, I have extensive manuals for them. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, there's a military manual for the SX-28 that's pretty comprehensive. So Mike's got a big Hallicrafters collection, including SX-28A, SX-42, ST-44, quite a few others. 818-618-4226. Any breaks for Mike? Who'd like to make listing number 10 today? And that Claremont Swap is at the, the Granite Valley Church? Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure. I have it written down in the house. It's out that way off the 210 freeway, just a little bit south of Langley.
Right, and that starts at 7 in the morning and goes until 11, I think. Sellers tables are $10, and sounds like it's a very worthwhile swap. The running of that was taken over by Brian, and I'm not going to be able to say his call now. KB6BDW, I think, who runs the 7235 swap and roundtable Monday through Friday beginning at 11:30, so you can go there and get all the pertinent details from him. Well, my brain is fuzzy today. Who'd like to make listing number 10?
WR6K.
WR6K, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. Let me switch to another antenna and see if I sound any better. Hold on just a second.
All right, you're S7 on that one.
Okay, this is the other antenna. This is an NPED long wire.
Yeah, that one's a little louder.
All right, I'll stay with this one. I have a listing, and then I also have a question for anybody on the net. A lot of talk about these old boat anchors on AM. And I've been restoring, first of all, I'll bring this up. I've been restoring some lunch boxes. I've been buying them over the years at the flea markets, and I finally got around to cleaning them up and getting them all working. And but I wonder what frequency, and by the way, these are for 2 meters. What, if any, frequency is the AM calling frequency on 2 meters here in the California area? I can't find anything. Maybe somebody knows.
Oh, I should know, and golly, I can't say what it is. 144 something.
145.35.
145.35. Does that interfere with any current stuff? I mean, I have some crystals, but they're all over the place, and I'd like to get them all on the calling frequency.
Yeah, that's a repeater output. Yeah, I just can't remember it offhand, but you should be able to Google it and find out. It's
144.45.
I just can't remember.
All right, well, I'll stand by. Maybe somebody knows. I really haven't thought to Google it, but who knows? That might lend something. I thought I'd just try it here. Okay. Also, I have something to list. Name is Larry, and we're in Sacramento, and I have the following item. It's a Yaesu DM. Oh God, DM9. Hold on a second. I got to look at it.
That frequency is 144.45.
No, it's on the bottom shelf. I got to get a flashlight. I can't read it.
Oh, Larry, did you copy?
901. I'm trying to remember what it is too.
Oh, Larry, did you copy that frequency?
Okay, it's a DM901 DM. The Yaesu DM901 DM. And I'm asking $450 as is. I think it does work. Last time I checked it, it did. If I ever get around to cleaning it up and tuning it up, the price is going to go up too. But if anybody wants that radio and wants to get it, I think it's the last of the Yaesu hybrids. I was into a hybrid kick a little while ago, and I still have a couple. I have a Kenwood, the last of the Kenwoods here, too. It's an 830, fully loaded, really a beautiful radio, and I don't plan to sell that one anytime soon. Anyway, that's the one I have. I'm asking $450. You can call me at area code 408-644-5309, and of course you can email me. I don't check my email too often, but I thought maybe a few days getting back to you if you email me. And you can text me at that number. That's even better. Anyway, I think that's all the information you need. Is it?
Yeah, I think that's an FT, Fox Tango 901 Delta Mike.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I got it a while ago and played with it for a while. It had a few little warts on it, which I thought I'd get around to fixing, but so far I haven't. But I seem to remember they put out full power and all the rest. It's an awfully complex radio, and it's damned heavy, too.
Yeah, they gave you some quality for your money when you bought one of those things. Number 10, a lot could be done with a little bit of deoxit into cleaning all those plug-in boards and controls and switches and stuff, and they get a lot happier when they get a little love. Number 10, WR6K, Larry in Sack of Tomatoes, is restoring some Benton Harbor lunch boxes, and he's wondering what the 2-meter AM calling frequency is. It's somewhere up near the top of the 144 megahertz segment, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'll try to look it up. He's got to sell a Yaesu Fox Tango 901 Delta Mike. It works, but it wants a little love. $450. Is that pickup only, or will you endeavor to ship it?
I prefer a pickup because it is damn heavy and it's not something you want to ship. I went and picked it up. I drove 100 miles to pick it up, damn near. So it was worth the trip at the time. Had a lot of fun meeting the fellow I bought it from and so forth. And I'd like to think that anybody who comes by would have a good time meeting me. Okay. Anyway, yeah, pickup is definitely preferred. And you know, speaking, I want to talk about freight prices here for a minute. Everybody complains about freight prices, but I was looking at an old Lafayette catalog a while back, and they had a little section when you order something by mail order, how to compute your freight prices. And when you adjust those prices for inflation, they're really not much different back then than they were today. So freight prices have always been high is what I'm trying to say. They've always been high. Anyway, my comment on that. WR6K.
All righty. Larry would prefer a pickup on that radio for obvious reasons. I think it only weighs 35 or 40 pounds, something. Built-in power supply, steel chassis, steel cabinet. Real radio. 408-644-53098 breaks for Larry.
Yeah, that frequency is 144.45 in California.
I picked up something the other day. It was 25 pounds. And I realized I don't want to lift anything heavier than that anymore. That's how old and frail I'm getting. Maybe picking up 2 Globe Kings in January weren't the smartest thing I ever did, but oh well. Who'd like to make listing number 11?
Along those lines, Larry, N6QWP, those that are experienced in shipping out here and don't have a commercial account, anyone care to enlighten the rest of us on what is the most, at least the cheapest way, most reliable way to send out gear like that, or is it way out of hand no matter what?
Well, it depends on what the gear is, but if you go to FedEx and ask to have an account, doesn't cost anything, you just fill out a little form with your info in it, you save 30% on the shipping. Not on the packing, but on the shipping. So that takes a big chunk out of FedEx shipping and makes it pretty comparable to the post office. And in some instances, it might be preferable to ship FedEx, especially with a larger package. So I don't know. I've shipped really big things using a trucking shipping from stuff that goes on a pallet, but I haven't done that in 25 years or so. I used to have a big wooden packing crate that Japanese engine came in. And, I could put all the modules from a Globe King in there and pack it up and put it on a pallet or a half pallet and send it by truck. And that was the cheapest way to do things that are, several hundred pounds or something. But otherwise, it's kind of a toss-up between the post office and FedEx. And I think when the package gets really large, FedEx is probably preferable.
Comment?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is KD6PQO. Regarding the shipping, I'm here in Ukiah. I've used OnTrack, ONTRAC, I think it is. They ship between Oregon, Washington, California, and I think maybe Utah, the western states. And I've shipped amplifiers and other stuff. They're very good, inexpensive, and anybody can sign up and just go online and check them out. And it's good for heavier stuff.
And do you take it to their facility to send it?
You can do that, or they'll pick it up from wherever you are and deliver to wherever you are, residences or businesses. Very flexible. It's a good company. It's small, but they, exclusively in the western states.
Okay. Can you give us an example of an amplifier and where it went, what it cost?
Yeah, I shipped an ACOM S600 to Southern California from here, from Northern California. And I double boxed it. It was about 35, 40 pounds. I think it was 45 pounds. And I think I shipped it back and forth in both ways. It was about $100, $50 each way, something like that.
Okay. Well, there you heard it, guys. OnTrack. How do you spell that? You said ONTRAC, he thought it was.
No, it's ONTRAC, OnTrack, ONTRAC, and OnTrack.com.
I'm at N6KD.
KD, go ahead.
Well, I shipped some big rotors. In fact, I shipped, I think it was 4 big prop pitch rotors via Greyhound, and the only difficulty was much cheaper than any other way. The only difficulty was I had to take it to the Greyhound depot, and it had to go to a Greyhound depot. So I shipped it to a guy in Ohio, and probably weighed, 150, 200 pounds or whatever, and it didn't cost me an awful lot. I can't remember exactly. It was less than $100. So.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility, is shipping it with Greyhound or Amtrak freight are also possibilities for things that are big enough to want a hand truck. So those are things you can look into.
Information.
Info, go ahead.
Yeah, this is K86IRL. And in regard to Greyhound has quit the freight business.
Oh, that's not very nice of them.
Well, thanks for letting us know, Lee.
Yeah, I used to ship the top bow assemblies for vehicles I manufactured, and the only way you could get them because of their size was by way of Greyhound.
What was that notification, please? You said that Greyhound is no longer shipping.
Has evidently changed policy regarding shipping freight.
All right, thank you. All righty, there you go. Some of these outfits, like FedEx and the post office, do have online calculators, so you get the dimensions and the weight of your package. You can find out what it's going to cost.
Yeah, and you can also do the same with OnTrack, their online system. You can figure out the cost before you ship it and everything, just like FedEx or UPS. It's a good system. It also covers Arizona.
Okay. The one caveat with FedEx is that there are FedEx satellite stores that are privately owned, and they will not honor the online calculated price. So you've got to go to an outlet that really is run by FedEx to do that. But anyway, we got 5 minutes to go. Let's see who else would like to list today.
November 6, Kilo Delta.
N6KD, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I have one listing today. It's for a Kenwood TS480 SAT, includes the mic, manual, and the original shipping box, and it's in excellent condition. And the price is $650, and I'm located in Jackson, near Sacramento. And the phone number is area code 209-273-8835. Any questions?
Yeah, your name?
Dennis.
Dennis. And did you say Jackson is the name of your town?
Roger.
Is that up in the foothills?
It's about 50 miles from Sacramento in the foothills.
Alrighty, I guess I've been there. Number 11, N6 Kilo Delta, Dennis in Jackson, up the hill from Sac of Tomatoes, offers the Kenwood TS480 SAT, standard accessories, original box, $650, excellent condition. Second one we've had today, 209-273-8835. Any breaks for Dennis? West Coast swap net number 12 is open. With 4 minutes to go, I got to step outside for just a second.
In the line of the last discussion, is UPS out of the picture then? Does anybody know UPS is like not competitive?
UPS is still in business with that sort of thing, but the UPS Post Office Department agreements sometimes overlap.
All right, thank you.
Second comment, UPS is in business. They're more expensive than FedEx with an account, and they break things. M6, Mike X-Ray United.
Somebody repeat that, please, from MXU.
How about if I turn up the amp? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Helps quite a bit.
Yeah, it's the difference between 30 watts and whatever this thing's putting out. Yeah, I've had a lot of bad experience with UPS. They're more expensive than FedEx if you have an account, and anybody can get an account. And they have also damaged a lot of things that I've shipped, so I will not ship with them. One other affiliated comment is On Track, which my buddy uses a lot. He lives up in Utah, and so they do ship to and from Utah as well. So it is the western states, and he claims that they're more reasonable than even FedEx and 6MXU.
All right, thank you.
I agree with Bill. I refuse to use UPS. I'll tell you 2 UPS stories here in the last 2 minutes. I took this stuff to a UPS outfit run by UPS, put my package on the counter. They put it on a belt. The belt went up 9 feet in the air and dropped it. And luckily there was a pile of stuff on the floor, but if there hadn't been, it would have dropped 9 feet onto a concrete floor. This absolutely thoughtless. The other thing is, back in the days when I overhauled antique radios, I had a customer send me, actually I think it was a ham radio, sent me a radio triple box, and with the original inside box was a Motorola box designed for the radio. Came UPS, they put a forklift through 3 layers of boxes and damaged the radio. I had the UPS insurance guy up here in my office, and he looked me right in the face and said, well, the insurance doesn't cover condition, only arrival. So the guy had stated the value of the radio, which was, high, $500-600. They'd taken his money, and then the guy looked me right in the eye and said, well, it got here, so we're not going to pay anything. So that's a criminal enterprise.
UPS really, really screws people when it comes to insurance. They're the worst.
Yeah, I've just refused to have anything to do with them. I say UPS means unable to park safely.
My experience...
Boy, so true. They screwed my thing up so bad it was in pieces. They still wouldn't cover it.
For the full cost of the pieces.
Okay, there was a double error here. Somebody said they got a radio in pieces and UPS wouldn't pay, and somebody said they did pay. Was it?
This is N6KD. I took him to small claims court.
Did you get anything?
It took me a whole year, but they paid me off like $1,300. It was a big radio that too with TS950, which they damaged, and they said there wasn't anything wrong with it, but we want to put out 50 watts instead of 150. So I said, well, you either fix it or pay me. And they said, we're not going to do either one. So I took it to small claims court.
Well, I'm surprised they paid you there because there's no enforcement for small claims judgments. But anyway, it's 2 o'clock. We've ratchet jawed here the last 5 minutes. Anybody need to make a listing for and read the list?
Hey, Larry, USPS paid me straight away, no questions asked.
The Postal Service?
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, Postal Service is my go-to thing. it's a mile down the road, and they'll even pick this stuff up from you if you get your ducks in a row with them.
Yeah, luckily they're right down the road.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to read Saturdays and Sundays list. And as always, I will listen between the reading of each individual listing, and that's the time to holler for information that you might need. Okay, West Coast SWAPnet W6WUH reading Saturdays list. Number 1 is scratched as Steve sold his ICOM 7300. Number 2, W6BDW, Brian in Upland, got a Yaesu MH59 touch-tone hand mic. It's brand new, best reasonable offer. Number 3, W7DBS, Dave in Boulder City, Nevada, got a Heathkit SB200, a linear amplifier, pristine condition, got the Harbach power supply in it. It works fine, $450. We heard it. Number 4, N6QWP, Brad in Crockett. All the stuff's pickup only. Heathkit, a 2060 Alpha, legal limit roller inductor antenna tuner, $175. ICOM 751, not A for parts, $95. Miscellaneous 811s and 811As, new and used. ICOM M710, commercial marine sideband transceiver, low power output, $150. It's got a bunch of TS930, 940, 430, and 440 projects. Best reasonable offer pickup in Crockett. Number 5 on Saturday's list, W6IRL, Lee in Oroville, looking for the World War II clandestine radios, the SSRT1. There's a receiver, a transmitter, and a power supply. Looking for all of those or parts for them. Info, go ahead.
Yeah, could you add on that request for one of those cabinets, if someone happens to have one of those, please, at 6QWD?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Brad is, I wrote it in the margin and didn't read it. Brad is looking for the Collins look-alike cabinet. They probably were made by Bud. They might have been made by somebody else, Peerless or one of those guys. But Brad is looking for those if you've got any of those cabinets.
Yeah, look like the S-line.
Looks like the S-line.
Thank you.
Number 6, WB6 OGD, Gary in El Dorado Hills, got a Drake 2B. It's been restored, looks nice, works good, $230. I'm not sure I'd sell mine for that. Number 7, N6DUK, Clarence and Corning. Got a Yaesu FTDX3000, late production version, best offer. It's also looking for the guy who wanted to buy it. He's lost the contact info. It's got the Atlas RX110, TX110, best offer. If you have any sideband guys, those are rare. Got a 3-pack of Vibrapex brass racers. A couple of them have Curtis chips in them. Call for details. Clarence is looking for the Yaesu FTS7 dip switch tone encoder. And he's looking for the internal power supply for the Kenwood TS950F. W6WUH reading Saturday's list, number 9, KE7DHA, Larry in Camas, Washington, right over the river from Portland. Got a pristine Kenwood TS520. Excellent working condition, excellent cosmetics. $150, pick it up in Camas. Number 10, W6DEN, Dennis in Auburn. Atlas 350XL transceiver with a matching power supply, $300. Pick up an Auburn preferred. Got a Cushcraft R5 vertical. It's on the ground. It's free if you go pick it up. Those things are expensive now. Number 11, M6MXU, Bill in Anaheim. Got the original stepper monster antenna. It's got the straight elements, not the problematic curved one. Covers 40 through 6 meters. 3 elements on 40 and 30 with a 39-foot turning radius and a 34-foot boom. 4 elements, 20 through 6. The EHUs are refurbed. The cables are refurbed. 100 feet of control cable. Got the control of the power supply. Best reasonable offer, around $3,000. Bill says his primary interest is getting this in the hands of somebody who will actually be able to use it. Not your suburban lot antenna. Bill's got the ICOM EX243 gear module, fits with 735 and others, $30. The better RF iMate memory controller for modern ICOMs with the waterfall display, that's $40 postpaid. Shipping box for the Alpha 87 transformer, free if you pay the shipping. Swan FS2, little Japanese SWR field strength meter, $20. About the only thing with a Swan label on it that was Japanese that I can think of.
One quick comment, Larry.
Yeah, Bill.
On the lot size, I'm on 7/10 of an acre, and that's just fine. I know somebody on a city-sized lot down in San Diego that has one of these things, and he's getting away with it. But yeah, it'd be best if your tower was 39 feet from your property line. That'd make you totally legal. So it doesn't take a huge lot. As I say, I'm only on 7/10. N6, Mike X-Ray United. And thanks for running the net for us. I love listening to it every weekend. It's like community.
Well, thank you, Bill. I'm glad you're here. Moving right along, number 12 on Saturday's list. I get to put my glasses back on here before I make some stupid mistake. Number 12, KF6VAQ. David in Yucaipa, east of San Bernardino, I think. Got 3 each Motorola Micors. One's complete there for parts, $100. Call for details. Got a Kenwood TKR 750. It's a VHF repeater with an RC210 controller, $750. Got a Kenwood UHF TK820 repeater for parts, $100. And a Hy-Gain TH7DX great big tri-band Yagi, asking $600 or best reasonable offer. It's on the ground, ready to go. Number 13, W6RU, Terry in Bakersfield, offers the Tentec Omni 7 with the optional 500 and 300 cycle CW filters. Comes with a mic cable and maybe a manual. He'd prefer to meet you and hand it off for obvious reasons, but he will ship it if you insist. $695. And number 14, last one on Saturday, K7OHM, Gideon in Las Vegas, offers the Yaesu Fox Charlie 757. It's an automatic antenna tuner for $150. Any questions on Saturday's list? All right, that goes in the scrap heap. Actually, they stay in the bound log. I keep a log if FCC ever asks me for anything. I hand them the book. Yeah, I don't know. Sunday, July 8th, number 1, W6VW, Stan in Witter. Got a walk for Kenwood CW filters for the TS830S and other radios, a YK88 Charlie, and the Yankee Golf 455 Charlie or Charlie 1. Those are wants. looking for the classic black ARC-V receiver for 6 to 9 megahertz. It's the R27, not the silver one, and he wants it with no modifications. He offers free, and this is a wonderful deal for somebody. I just don't have the room for more stuff, and I won't use it anymore, or otherwise I would have gotten it years ago. A TCS receiver and transmitter, power supply. These are working with the cable. One heck of a deal. It's also got a TBW transmitter and a box of ART13 parts. They're all free if you pick them up in Winters. He's also got a box of coils and capacitors for transmitters, but he ain't going to describe them. You've got to go there and look at them if you want them. Understandable. Number 2, WA6NEA, Bob in Roseville, has a Tenadyne 28-element log periodic antenna. This is a commercial grade antenna, 12-foot boom. It weighs 38 pounds, so you know that's a substantial antenna. Covers 50 through megahertz through 1.3 gigahertz with about 6 dB of gain. So that's a whale of an antenna, $200. Number 3, K6LK, Bill in Kelseyville, got a one for an 8 to 10 foot rooftop type tower to put on his deck. He's going to put his satellite stuff on it. He's got a free box of Swan 240 parts. I presume those are pickup only. Is that right, Bill?
Yeah.
Yep. Go to Kelseyville and come home with a nice box of Swan Signet parts. Got a Yaesu Fox Tango 847. This is a HF plus VHF UHF all mode receiver, full duplex satellite capable, Cat 4 control, $585. Those are nice radios.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Info. Number 2.
Number 2, Bob with the antenna.
Yeah.
Okay, area code 916-709-5333.
Good.
That's a heck of a deal.
Well, I don't know about that, Larry. It's just for satellite, it might be.
Well, I don't know enough about satellites to comment, but you know, if you need a wide range directional antenna that's heavy duty, that seems like it would fill the bill.
It might make it, K6LK.
Depends on the frequency, too.
Yeah, it would certainly be nice to couple that with that Alinco all-mode receiver that I got from you that goes up to 2 gigahertz.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Send those to Ukraine, boy, they could use that.
I thought that's where it was going.
Yeah, I did too. It just lost communication with those guys, and it got problematic. And also, the Russians were listening to all of the cheap radios that I could send them, and so they needed to fall back more on the Motorola and well, what that other company is that makes all kinds of fancy encrypted military radios. So, you know, whether they need it for receiving or not, I don't know, because I lost contact with that ham in Kiev. I've got to try to get in touch with him again.
Understood.
I didn't want to send it if they couldn't use it.
True.
Okay, radios that glow in the dark, etc. Number 4. No, I can't read my own writing. I think he's WO7 Zulu. I scratched out so many things. Tom in Amityville, Oregon. That's right, WO7Z.
It's got an Ameritron AL80 Bravo linear amplifier, excellent condition. Currently wired for 120 volts. Comes with a spare final tube, $1,600 to pick it up in Oregon. Number 5 on Sunday's list at KZ6Q. Ed in Hayward offers a Yaesu Fox Tango 990 for $450 and a Kenwood TS480 SAT for $475. He says he will ship them. Number 6, yours truly, W6WUH, Larry in Occidental. Clegg Interceptor B receiver with the HF up converter, $450. Clegg Zeus transmitter for 6 and 2 meters, overhauled condition, with the modulator power supply and the manual, $300. Moro Twins MBR 5, MBR 6, MB560. With the deluxe AC speaker power supply, all the cables, overhaul condition, working on the air, $400. Another pair of Moro Twins, just the radios, no cables, no power supplies, no overhaul, no nothing, $100 each. Heathkit SP102, overhaul condition, HP23, long power cable, $375, been in use here for many years. Heathkit audio distortion analyzer, audio analyzer, $75 with the manual. It's working. 250 watts multi-match modulation transformer by Thor Darson, $200. The best offer trade on all of these. Looking for very modern VHF, UHF all-mode radio or a Ten-Tech Orion in trade. Number 7, KH7 Yankee, Fred in Pine Grove. Got two 10-foot tower sections, one top plate. It's similar to the Roan 45, but 1 inch bigger per side. Free if you pick it up in Pine Grove. Another nice free item, the Hammerlin SP400 X-Ray Super Pro receiver with the power supply. Free to pick up in Pine Grove. Got the Harvey Wells power supply. It'll run either of the Harvey Wells mobile transmitters, $50. It's been rebuilt. And he's got a 2-meter Dowsett communicator that he'll give you if you show up there.
What was that receiver you said, the SP400X?
That's correct. That's the first Super Pro. Predecessor to the SP600. Number 8 on Sunday's list, W6 Sierra Papa, Steve in Santa Rosa. Got a couple of radios here in my shack I got from Steve. Got a one from an Art 13 dynamotor and cables. Delta Yankee 17, maybe a Delta Yankee 12 dynamotor will work. Got an ICOM 211 2-meter all mode, got the FM module in it. It quit working, $75. Pick it up in Santa Rosa. One of the things the ICOM 211 was famous for doing. Number 9, KXG, Mike in Glendale. Got a Hallicrafters receiver collection, all overhauled, restored, very nice. He's going to take them to the Claremont swap next Saturday, but you can call and get details and maybe make a deal before they go out on the block. He's also got one HQ129X, 818-618-4226. Number 10 on Sunday's list, WR6K, another Larry in Sacramento. Restoring 2-meter lunch boxes, and he wants to know what the 2-meter AM calling frequency is in Northern California, and I couldn't remember. Got a Yaesu Fox Tango 901 Delta mic. Yeah, it works, but it needs a little work, $450. Pick it up in Sac of Tomatoes. And the last
listing of the day, N6KD, Dennis in Jackson, up above Sacramento in the foothills, offers the Kenwood TS480 SAT, original box and standard accessories, excellent condition, $650. Any questions on Sunday's list? Alrighty, thanks for being here. Sure appreciate it. Next week it will be Dennis KB6LZW, and starting again at 12:30, just like always on this frequency. Thanks for being here on both QRT, W6WUH. Thanks, Larry.
Wonderful job.
KA6RCG. Larry, I have a question.
Have a good rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Question?
Yeah, you mentioned a Cushcraft vertical. I don't know what number it was. I only had one ear to the radio at that moment.
It's an R5.
And that's a stationary type vertical, not a mobile?
Yeah, that's right. It's a full-size vertical that goes in your backyard.
And who had that?
2210, workband included. AI60.
Thanks, Chris. Who had that?
Dennis in Auburn. Would you like the phone number?
Yes, and a call sign if you have one.
His call sign, Whiskey 6, Delta Echo November.
Dan?
Yes?
W6PMR here. If you get the R5, I have a copy of, well, if you're in the area and Dennis isn't all that far and I'm on the way back, you can stop by. I have a copy of the R5 instructions.
Okay, I was just curious. What was the number on that, Larry?
The phone number is 650-533-7159, or it's free for pickup in Auburn.
Okay, I'm going to look it up and do a little research. Thanks very much for the info. And thanks, Paul, and thanks, Chris. KA6RCZ.
W6PM.
Thanks the village. Thank you, guys. W6WUH.
Those ARC 5 manuals are all online. No problem.